Greetings, everyone. Welcome. Chat has voted back-to-back days for best of 3, and we're going to do that now. Robert wants a refund. Now, I'm just going to I'll give you your Star Trek blah. You want 2 blahs? I should just take your money, Robert, really, but I will give you the OG no blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
No, blah, blah, blah!
And now we'll get back to it. See, like, Robert wanted me to stop starting the draft to play a meme to make fun of me for not starting the draft. That's what just happened there. But we're starting the draft, and we're going to do best of 3 again. We had a frustrating day for me yesterday, a little tilty, and went 1 and 2 in best of 3 with a deck I really liked, but it happens. I didn't play perfectly and certainly didn't draw perfectly. The Magic Gods were not on my side for a lot of it, but we still had some great games, and then I got to finish the day by crushing with our sweet green-white premier deck that we had, and we just 7-0'd that to remind myself that we can win some Magic games around here. And if you want to win some Magic games at your kitchen table, I strongly suggest that you check out my sponsor, cardkingdom.com, or really anywhere you want to play physical Magic. You know, if you're going to a big tournament, FNM, maybe we're going to have Magic Fests again at some point, and you want to get your 75 together for a constructed event, Card Kingdom has you covered. Or you can use them like I do, which is heavily to build out artist palettes for things like cubes and Canadian Highlander decks. I like having one of a lot of cool stuff, so that when I go to build that Canadian Highlander deck or construct a new cube, that I've got the tools for it. And Card Kingdom's inventory is so deep that they're always my first stop when looking for that specific piece of bling. I hope you check them out. If you do, please use my affiliate links. That lets them know you get there from here. And then if you conduct business with them, that transaction cha-chings onto my record with them and helps keep me on the air. Thank you so much to all of you who do that. It's really helpful, and I really appreciate it. Now let's... all right, here it's bittersweet. We're going to go below 10,000 gems. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, yeah, just barely. We're going to go slightly below 10,000 gems, but we're going to hopefully go above 200,000 gold today. Hey, if MIA can use gunshots as a chorus, I can use cha-ching as a verb. Oh, I want to be here, though. We're drafting. You multi-accounting, JC? Gotta be multi-accounting if you want to... Very good. Just a little pop quiz for you. Bondman asks, is it always better to gem instead of gold entry? Historically, I actually flipped it. Historically, I would enter with gold first and gems second, because throughout the system, gems are currency for more things than gold is, right? There are some things that are gem only and some things that are gem or gold. However, the introduction of the Arena Opens changed things, because the Arena Open is a big, hot, 3x event cost entry deal that has big cash prizes. But the gold entry for Arena Opens is 25% cheaper than the gem entry. And since one of the main things I can do with the surplus gold that I earn on all these accounts that I'm running is enter into these cash prize events with more bullets, have more chances to make day 2 in an Arena Open. So I have switched to defaulting to gem entries to build up gold so that my entries into Arena Opens are more efficient. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. We could take this and try and build around it for some funsies, but no, we could wheel that if it felt like we were heading there somehow. But what are we taking instead? This pack looks a bit garbagey. Ranger, Blade, maybe a Boots. Oh, maybe take Monk. I kind of glossed over the Monk, but this is a real card. Like, Monk and Blade are similar to me. It's not a pack one, pick one that you're happy with. This is a bad pack. I mean, come on, this is just a bad pack. This is a real bad pack, and this is a real card. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just higher on this than you. It's not too hard to get a counter on this, and you put 2 counters on it, and it's nice. However, black's the best color. I'll give you the Fang Blade because of black being the best color. Ranger, I can't quite pull the trigger on as a 5-drop, but that was interesting too because you could try and cut that lane. Following the Fang Blade with a Ghoul is reasonable. There's a lot of good red-black tools here. I'm a little worried that like we take a Ghoul and then like none of this comes back. I kind of want to screenshot this or remember this pack and take a look at it when it comes back, because yeah, I guess you could make a case for the drop given the Blade if we're going to take another black card. The Ghoul is so important to me that both, again, it's obviously at its peak when it's sacking creatures you've stolen with price. But I just think 2-power 2-drops are so important. I don't care. I know that this is at its best in red-black, but this is how much I want 2-drops right now in this format. If that were cleaner removal, I would have gone for it, though. Take a Shambling Gas to just stay monocolored. We could look to Blink Dog and potentially have a white-black. Ogre is another option, but really those are the 3 cards here we're talking. I mean, there's some blue cards. Back to the cards we're thinking about. Blink Dog versus Shambling Gas versus Ogre. Especially since I've taken the Ghoul, the Ogre leaning towards the red side is okay. Yeah, let's take Ghast and stay black. We could, this gives us most flexibility. I kind of like the Ogre as the best card in the pack, but this is the most flexible pick in the pack. And we can stay flexible with a Blade here, or go best card with something like a Unicorn. But I think, again, cutting black here is going to pay dividends. And again, I just give me 2-powered 2-drops with no downside, and I'm pretty happy. And now our Stay Black, Stay Open has left us able to take a Hunter's Mark and maybe end up in a black-green deck. So let's grab this. Still would bank into red if the packs suggested it, but I'm not passing a Mark there. Mark was MVP of our 7-0 run. Maybe not the legit MVP. We had a lot of bombs in that deck, but I'll just say Hunter's Mark felt like every time we cast it was a blowout. Well, Hexblade to continue on the black cut, or we take one of these green creatures and support the green direction. This is maybe the card I've come up the most on in this whole format. Like, I just barely even saw this card, and now it feels like, no, it's doing work here. I do like the Druid, but I'm gonna take Hexblade. I like power again. Note, if we just leave with our 2s taken care of, great. And now a Null Hunter Planar Ally is really interesting. Really, like, we have the Hunter's Mark, so we should take the Null Hunter, but Pegasus, a playable elf monk, and the ally do suggest that white-black is a possible path as well. I could see that. We've already got some death touch, though. I'm going to take the hunter. Interesting. Looks like you're not alone. Those of you who prefer the death toucher, I can see that. But here we can take a circle. Interesting. This was the only green card in the pack, and I was saying, yeah, we could take the Ranger, and it's the only green card, and maybe we send a signal here. So now, not only is it still here, like it was the only green card in the pack, and now the next pack is this pack I took a screenshot of. I wanted to see the, what was taken out of this pack that had Precipitous Drop, Ghoul, Ghast, Ogre, a couple of Ogres, Valor Singer. So, like, okay, so out of this pack, Precipitous Drop, Shambling Ghast went to other drafters, and Ogre and Valor Singer also went to other drafters. So I think we go ahead and take the Ogre. And then, this card is garbage. It's pure gems if you want to do gems. But we have the Fang Blade. Let's take the Ogre, and maybe there'll be a little sub-theme of venturing here. Longbow, straight to the board, but best of 3, it has a chance. Celestial Unicorn still being here is a little surprising. We're going to take it and keep our eye out for a possible switch into white, if especially if we open something incredible coming up. I think we like Shield a little more than Ambushed. They actually kind of have a similar thing with the stand and fight effect, but the Shield sticks around. Plummet, amazing last pick. Best of 3. Dungeon Descent, even though we're talking about doing some venturing, this is not for us. Instead, we have Death Priest. I think that can work in black-green especially. We can find keep an eye out for more sack outlets so that we can get this going. Yeah, sure, let's look at the white in the sense that, there is one white card, it's the Paladin, right? And I think if the Death Priest were not here, like if this were, let's say this were the Grim Wanderer even, like I think if this were Grim Wanderer, I'd probably take that actually. I think taking the black card is correct, but the Paladin is interesting to point out for sure. Yeah, I kind of expect that green trick to wheel if the Ranger wheeled out of the first pack. Skullport Merchant, very nice for the sack plan, like being able to trigger some Death Priest stuff. And if we can maybe wheel one of these 2 black cards, all the better. Inspiring Bard or Evolving Wilds would be a decent wheel. This will probably be available, but I don't think we're going to want it. Just thinking ahead. Troubadour jumped out at me with what we're doing here, but then there's a Grim Bounty that's just like, how about just kill something? And the 2 toughness is a real problem with this card. It's almost an enchantment. It's like a 4 mana venturing enchantment. Although if you can clear the battlefield, then you're talking business. But yeah, it's an awkward card with how it's the toughness. But we'll just take Grim Bounty. Clean and mean. Drop or Robber. Interesting pick. There's Book of Vile Darkness. I don't really see these, but maybe this has something. At the beginning, if you lost 2 more... No... That's not a real card. It's a mythic. If you want a mythic rare draft, that's totally cool. But we'll take removal here. Well, it's Ghast or bank away from green. You could take Ally or Pegasus if we wanted to hedge white. Yeah, I'm just thinking we're on Ghast. certainly whether we're white or green, that's going in either. And now we can take a white dragon to hedge there, but we got another drop. Let's try to get into the dungeon enough here. Open up all these hex blades. Maybe it's time for a shepherd. I kind of just want another hex blade. Just to have a different slot in the curve, but no, I think we just take another hex blade. We'll take a George here. A lot of painful cards coming by now, though. The red is open this direction, but it's pack 2. A lot of the stuff that there's like, yeah, the reason you're seeing it is because you didn't see it the first time through. Yeah, Marsh is a big fan of Georgie. We'll take that. Bull Strength did wheel. We'll take Bull Strength number 1 over Hexblade number 20. And Bard and Wilds both wheeled, and so did the Deadly Dispute. Interesting. I mean, this isn't the best deck for it, but the Death Priest type decks are better than, normally, like, you want that for the red decks, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Plummet number 2 for the board, or a possible Wild Shape. I think a Wild Shape number 1 over Plummet number 2, because we might want to bring that in sometimes. And I'm going to go Manticore over Eyes, I think. Although, maybe... Yeah, I'll take Manticore. We got a couple of these gas we're looking to bump into stuff. Yeah, the need to have some game against flying is a fair point. We do have Ranger, and we have some removal. But as I always say, I really like having some non-removal answers to flyers so that you don't have to be in a spot where it's like, well, the only way I can deal with that flyer threatening me right now is to find and use a full card on it, right? Yeah, this is a nice open, finally. What are we going to wheel? I hope the Null Hunter, but Georgie or the Moon Druid would be fine as well. Hopefully not Manticore, though. Dungeon Crawler for the lowdown. 2-drop Death Toucher or a 3-drop drop. A third 3-drop drop. Kind of want to take the drop and really just try to make the venturing happen. That's the thing. These get better in multiples, so in triplicate, it just feels like we're gonna yeah, and especially with the way green's been wheeling, I'm taking the drop. I hear all of you wanting the Death Toucher. I get it. I am dropping it though. We'll take a Spoils here over the Ghoul and try to, if we wheel the Dryad, we'll probably play it. Yeah, and we could have just forced the red-black and we would be fine right now. Yeah, we could take it and try and splash it. You could take a Moon Dancer and splash it, although we're not really doing life gain. Like, this white's not really doing this. Is Boulette fine? It never feels fine. I'm going to want to not play it. The Meatball? I don't know which one we're talking about. I'll take the price. I don't know. I think if we're going to splash something, we should take the Ogre. I kind of just let that pack expire, though, without a good plan. I really don't like these Prowlers. We have a Feigned Death already, though. Yeah, chat's just asking for gems here, which is sad times. Yeah, it's fine, I guess, but I still don't want to play it. Oh, I see. I didn't know where the meatball thing, what that was referring to. Plummet for the board, Shepherd for low synergy, or just another George. Yeah, we'll take another George. Green Drago, not our best bud, but we're not, it's too late for white, so we'll take it and consider it. Maybe first Drago is better than second George, but also we can take another Plummet here over Eyes or Baleful, which I think I like. Why do we want I don't think, why do we want Beholder? Oh, in case they have like enchantments or something? I'd rather have sideboard power against flyers. Third George, second Circle. What are we doing on threes? Probably want a second Circle over third George. Because also remember, we do have Green Dragon that we're talking about playing. So I'm going to take with 3 playable 6-drops. Playable, not super exciting, but again, we're a little weak to the air, so I don't mind it. Never playing this to the point that I'm actually just gonna vault. Interesting that the Death Toucher didn't wheel, but we got a Ghoul pick 11. That seems crazy. I'm taking check, taking another Ghoul. Tips for live after doing a lot of digital. One thing it depends on the rules enforcement, but like, are they going to let you look at your picks as you draft? Sometimes, you know, at high level events, you don't get to look at your picks, except between packs. So that's one thing that if you're in that type of system, you have to remember your curve better on your own. That kind of thing. Yeah, mostly at FNM, it's lower level enforcement, but be at least note, you know, that's something to ask yourself, you know, to learn when you get there, like what is are we allowed to look mid-pack? And especially if you are allowed to look mid-pack, the danger of that and the reason they don't allow it at higher levels is because of how it can muck up the draft. If one little pack gets out of place or messed up or something, one card goes in the wrong pile, the whole thing gets out of whack, right? So one of the best pieces of advice for helping prevent that when you're drafting in paper at a lower rules level enforcement level is to consider yourself to have 3 zones. You've got your pack in hand. Yeah, we can cut that, don't worry. Pack in hand is one zone. Pack coming to you from the right, or, you know, let's say it's first pack. The pack coming to you from the right is zone number 2, and the pack you're sending to the left is zone number 3. Never have 2 things in any of those 3 zones. You know, if your opponent wants to start piling up a log jam to you, okay, fine, but as far as you're concerned, you're only putting one thing in a zone. And so, like, if you've let's say the log jam is to your left, there's a tendency to, like I just described, oh well, they're waiting for this pack, I'll slide this pack down, I'll put another one down, and then I'll get ahead over here. That's where the mistakes start to happen, when you get multiple piles waiting for people and multiple piles near each other. So just a nice procedural rule of thumb that you can apply is that 3 zone thing. And just wait. So then, so like, I know what I'm taking out of this pack, but I'm waiting on my neighbor. So it's okay. I'm going to wait. And then, okay, they've picked up the pack I left for them. Now I'm going to complete my maneuver. If it's at FNM, I mean, again, every store has a different culture. Most stores are pretty loosey-goosey. Understandably, I think it's likely correct. I mean, it's mostly correct. If I ran a store, I'd be pretty loosey-goosey about it too. But I would suggest not being that player who is running commentarying the draft. Don't be that player who says, "What? This is still here?" You know, or "You passed me." Or this paid for the draft. Woohoo! Like I mean, be celebratory, have fun, but try to zip the lip during the draft and not spill any info. Right. All right, back to deck building here. A little aside there, but always a good one to talk about. We are 29 in our split, so we can lose some creatures with no problem in our ratios. What are our worst creatures? Probably Manticore. One Hexblade could go, but we do have a lot of treasure. These get good when you have a lot of treasure. Green Dragon could go, and we could bring it in when we really want that extra flying defense, although frankly the 2 plummets might be better there. Do we want to cut Manticore or one of these 5s? Is the Zombie Ogre... I think the Zombie Ogre is going to be good enough, given that we're going to be trying to do some stuff with Death Priest and Sacrifice with Merchant, that kind of thing. So any spells, we could also cut a spell. I'm running all the this hard removal stuff. The 3, maybe we can cut Bull Strength, given that we do have a pretty good removal contingent here. Feign Death is a pet card. I can bring it in when it's but when we're self-sacrificing, I like it as well. You can, I think this card has a lot of utility when you know for sure stuff is going to be dying and when you have ETB triggers. So re-triggering wolf tokens, getting extra life, Manticore plus Feign Death is a combo in and of itself. Fangblade becoming killing something and becoming a 3/3. Skullport Merchant making new treasure. There's just a lot of ways to feign death for value in a deck like this, so I like it. But we have great removal that I'm not willing to cut over it, so I am looking at that. But we're also not like overspelled particularly. Yeah. So just describing why I like it. Both of these are much better in red-black, but both of these kind of have a place here. With Skullport Merchant, yeah, I'm still not on cutting a Hexblade. I came close. Maybe I still will, Tron. I do have to get to 40 here. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, with 9 early drops, we can cut a Hexblade. I'm with you, but only 1. The drops get better in multiples, though. Like, the idea is by playing all of these and the Zombie Ogre and the Fangblade, we actually get to the point where these are -5, -5. Yeah, so if we cut Manticore and we need a couple cuts, I kind of like Manticore, and then I will cut my pet card because it loses a step without the Manticore. I mean, that's a real combo. We can just cut that combo. Yeah, we could also cut a Druid. As much as I am up on the card, it's not enabling too much here, although the Null Hunter into Druid attacking on 4 is quite real. So there's that. But something's got to give. Could give up one of the Ghasts, but with a Deadly Dispute and a Merchant and the Hexblades, I think I like the double Ghast. I don't know. I'm gonna keep those. And yeah, the ghouls are a lot worse in this deck, but they're 2-power 2s. I'm not going to cut that. I think I will cut 1 Druid, and then we can get going here. Yeah, for that specific job, I hear you, but what other of your sack outlets also do the job of being 2-power with no downside for 2 mana? That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, this is best of 3, so I'm not interested in going to 16 either for a George deck with not significant or any kind of ramp. So, what do we call this? Drop. Got to be another drop joke with the triple drop. I know we made some drop jokes the other day, but let's, and I'm gonna go see if anybody's redeemed lands. I got to reject the Rakdos meme. I don't have it available. Yeah, Drop Dead Gorgeous is worth it. I like it. Oh, wait, not over there. Winner. Three-0 drop is also funny. I like that. Let's stick that one in the back pocket of the brain. Well, we have a good deck, but it might even be better if we had just not stayed open and kind of forced red-black. The green component is good, but by the end, the red stuff we passed was just better than the green we're playing. But this looks totally viable. Let's see what happens. And let's see what you all think about it. Nope. Ask Rob how that goes. What happens is I take your money and do something else. I take your channel points and do something else. It's like, not only do you not get it, you're punished on channel points. Oh, speaking of punished, mana, mana, mana. Mana, 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 mana. I'm not going to throw this back because we have drop and even bounty sets up ranger, you know, so it's too fine to throw back. But man, one of these is a forest. This hand looks amazing. Instead, it's just keepable. So obviously, dream draw off the top is a forest. Then we get to go Null Hunter into drop, into bounty, into ranger. I'm going to put the Null Hunter right here because I believe that we are not going to cast it yet. Oh, sure. Oppo gets a Null Hunter. I'm actually just happy Oppo played something that we can drop. And then let's scry ourselves up. Hopefully a forest. No forest, but a Death Priest we could cast, and a Grim Bounty we could use to start getting things going, but we really need a forest. Goodbye. Hey, and there is the forest. Good to see ya. Is that worth bountying, or do we just drop a Null Hunter here? I think we just drop a Null Hunter, and I'm willing to trade the Null Hunter for the Unicorn if it swings in as is, and then we have Ranger next turn. So that, of course, gives us more of a reason to, but still not going to do it next turn. We're going to drop the Ranger, get wide, and see if this is enough to dissuade attacks. Because the Ranger threatens blocks on the Unicorn even with one more life gain. Go for the 2-for-1 Hunter's Mark. It'd be 2-for-2 though, right? This would be a 3-3, if that's what you meant. I'm not sure if you're talking about Because, yeah. If it would win combat, I'd be with you on trying that. But this is cool, because now, do you want to send in that unicorn? Do you want to let us send back with pack tactics and an instant? Let's see. It's not a reading stream. It's not a math stream. We barely got out of high school around here. Interesting they went for the temporary smash here instead of the permanent buff to the unicorn. That's interesting. We could trade now, but I think we can take another 6 here and try to stabilize. Because this turn, oh yeah, it's even got a Ghast. We can go Ghoul and Ghast. Oh, we can't have. I was thinking of the common. This is the uncommon that actually costs more. So we could Ghast to have Hunter's Mark still available. We could Grim Bounty and then cast Ghoul. Yeah, swinging with Mark open seems correct, though, especially with the Hunter likely getting blocked. I think they'll trade off the Bard and try to. Yeah, I think it'll work. Let's see how it goes. With these two, we'll send... I'm not going to send the Wolf, though. This is... telegraphs less anyway. Yeah, so just going to accept that. And, I'm going to... what are we going to do? We can go Ghast Ghoul. We can go Ghast Hold Up Mark. We can go Grim Bounty Ghoul. We can go Bounty Ghast without spending the... Yeah, I didn't want a 2 for 2. Ghast. Yeah, let's bounty the unicorn. I like that. And then we can get the Ghast for free. For free. I just mean like we don't have to spend our treasure. We can just drop this in. Tron likes Ghast Hold Up Mark. Instead, instead of holding up Mark, we just killed the thing. I think, because I like your, the lines, the swing with Mark open line is good, and I'd like to repeat it again next turn. And here, sure, I'll double block. They have the option of not damaging the Ghast and leaving it alive, but I don't really care. This is just an effort to trade with a 3/3. And if we trade for something in hand too, that's acceptable. Create some treasure. Certainly gives us a lot of maneuverability next turn. Ooh, Hexblade with treasure I like. We'll start there. See what we draw. Costs us a life, but we can afford it for the value town. And now we have Mark. It is time to swing. But what do we want to mark? Kind of like marking the Bard, and then Hexblade has blocks on the Unicorn if they don't have anything to do about it. Let's start with a swing, though. See what they want to do. Yeah, so now with Mark as an instant, we could just wait on it. But if I use it now, we get extra damage in. So if we mark now, do you like the Unicorn or the Bard down? The Bard is stuck as is, but currently eats the Hexblade. Unicorn grows, but if it doesn't grow, currently Hexblade trades. And we could also wait and just see what happens. It just leaves them open to possible responses. Looks like Gang wants to wait. Also, it doesn't change the clock to wait, so I like that. One damage might not be worth waiting for if we could see that it changed the math on things, but it doesn't really, so. So this is nice. We get to throw the blade on and say, what do you got for this? Because we got an answer if you go for anything. Two and untap it. So if we Hunter's Mark, we don't get to the point where we kill this thing. So we gotta pick it off now if we don't want to, if we want a 2-for-1. Or we can accept this chump and make sure we don't lose to this. I mean, I don't think we're gonna die. Oh, he gives trample, that's true. Yeah, I can't let that happen because of the trample. All right, so we'll just do it, and we'll do it from our biggest thing. No pauses whatsoever, so it looks like that's going to be that. And let's see if we can find... All right, now they have some forced blocks, so... and with double ghoul, we can just kind of send in and drop double ghoul. Yeah, Mark and Will show up a lot in card titles. One of my favorite, you know, anybody in R&D can leave comments on cards in the card file. So if you just want to browse upcoming cards and give some feedback, you can do that. And so now, yeah, we'll just block 1 because we could sack to overcome a lot of trample. Argument for blocking both, but then what are we sacking? I guess we could sack Hexblade. I think it's block 1. Anyway, oh yeah, if they're just gonna go straight for this, I will go for a trade at least. Is this right? We'll do this. And I get it off board. But maybe I'm supposed to leave attackers. Too late, I've done it. Anyway, there's a card called Fire at Will, and Aaron Forsyth's card comment on that one was just, poor Will. I always like that. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have just stayed wide. Being a little chatty and play at the same time doesn't always... Yeah, that's a lot of unicorns. We can put in another Hexblade. But it's going to get outclassed by those unicorns pretty quickly. Like, we need like 3 power against unicorns. We don't really have that in the board. Cool. I hope I beat your friend. We didn't see any flyers. Just a really solid green-white life gain deck here. It's going to be a slog to get through this in... Yeah, I would figure that if you told me, you're probably not sniping. Yeah, maybe we do need to try and fly over ourselves. Druid blocks at 2/4, but that's, you're assuming that they don't gain a life. I'm like assuming that we need to deal with 4/3s at minimum. Yeah, it's always interesting to hear 2 players talk through their side of a match, not knowing the other's hands. I'm gonna run it back, I think. What does success mean? You like the Manticore Feign Death? Yeah, that's something we could think about if we go to 3. That at least takes care of some of those Gigantor unicorns that could happen. Gotta love the Shambling Gas in the face of a loyal Warhound. Drop a second one of these. Yeah, I'll send the one. I should, if I was going to send that, I should have done it before playing my dude out. But that's classic Ryan. If they go exile removal on the gas to avoid it killing the 3/1, that's great. If because that's we're talking like containment at that point, and if we draw out a Minimus containment for a 1-drop, we're thrilled. And as it is, I'll try and trade here, but I'll trade for Trick or Dog, whatever. And Treasure just helps us accelerate our timeline. But is there a reason to? I could play the Death Priest here, but what does that get us? Spoils, you say? I mean, yeah, we could spend treasure, use the gas, kill the unicorn. That's a little... I don't think we need to do that yet. I know this could become 3, and then I'm putting myself in a little bit of danger, but if we had to, we could spend 2 treasure mana on the spoils after the Skullport to kill it, so I'm going to play the Merchant and pass. Well, we know some life gain is coming now, right? Like, it just has to be. And I think, again... Well, this is instant speed, and we can treasure to kill one at instant speed. Well, I don't think I want to attack. I mean, I guess we could attack with the Merchant. If we assume we're not going to be able to block with it due to life gain, I'm expecting a Bard next turn. They're just going to drop a Bard and make some 4/3s. So, yeah, we can send one in and then... Oops, not the gas. We can send in the Skullport if we figure we're not going to drop it. Yeah, it's a weird message, but, like, what do they... Like, go for it. They're just going to take... I mean, it's just 1 damage. They did exactly what we expected, which is not put anything at risk. And now I'm going to... I'm going to let him do something that's going to gain life before I act with the spoils. There's the Bard we were expecting, and so now I'm going to spoils one of the unicorns. And interestingly, we can spoil on the Ghast, which then also makes the other unicorn a bad attack. So this is actually decent. But we should let this land and let Oppo choose life gain first. So just make sure we get that. Don't worry, on these treasure ones, it asks you Electro Brains. Or it should. If it doesn't, I'll file a report. So there we go. And now the Uni has to stay back too. So a decent play to hold off stuff. And now, let's see, if we save the treasure and untap and play, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could Death Priest, but then not have the 1 left over. So I'm going to draw. Yeah, let's draw. Well, we could sack the gas. I would just sack treasure. Why do we want to sack Ghast? I was going to draw off the treasure. I'm going to do that. Interesting. We can play the priest, but we're not going to get anything out of it here. I'm going to precipitous drop the unicorn and keep it low to the ground. So even if it grows, it's not going to be big enough to attack into the ghast again. And we get to scry, set up our next draw better. Nice scry, get away, swamp. Yeah, that's true. Let's just sack and kill it. Good call. I mean, that was my plan the whole time. Shut up. Yeah, it was good. Our draw wasn't good, but the play was good. Can't really block at 20. We got plans. Oh, here comes the flood.
Oh, here comes the flood.
Kind of like throwing the priest on the moon druid here, but at 17 I'm gonna take one more draw. Nah, I'm gonna take one more smack, go to 10, and see if we can draw something. Because it smells tricksy. So let's. I really want a creature that we can sack. Like the dream is just a creature with 2 power. So that we can throw it in front of the circle of the Moon Druid and sack in response to whatever tricksy thing they got going. Interesting choice now. If we let that happen, we would have to sack this to draw an extra card, and that's not worth it, so we just have to let this happen. Georgie doesn't suck, though. That's not the worst. Georgie will stabilize a board for you. I'm attacking with a Death Priest, because frankly, if they killed Georgie and we're out of luck there, we're just in big trouble. And if they send the circle, but not the Bard, then the Bull's Strength is kind of telegraphed. So let's see what they do on that front. Skadoosh. Deadly Dispute is a little bit late. Too bad we didn't have that as a response for the Dead Merchant. As it is now, we don't really have anything we want to sack. And 20 to 13, if we send in the 7/6, they don't have a double block. It would take a triple block. Then it completely exposes us, though, to a counter attack. And with the life gain happening here, that's probably too steep. So we are going to stay back. Really hope to find something to let go with Deadly Dispute so that we can get this going.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take?
Ghoul kind of qualifies. It's a little underwhelming, but we can basically take Deadly Dispute and Ghoul, replace them with 2 fresh cards, and get a 2/2 from the priest. Although it is a 3/2 with the priest. You like sacking it right now, the Deadly Dispute to the Ghoul? Yeah, let's do it. We gotta find better stuff anyway, and this gives us action here, and hopefully, well, Hexblade, we can draw a card, so we'll take that. And Hunter's Mark is legit action. We can't do it all, though. If we get to the end and pay, we can't mark, but well, I did it on our turn because I specifically wanted action for our turn. Like, for example, drawing and casting a Hired Hexblade for another card draw. So, yeah, I want a Skelly too. We are going to try and hold and get full value. That might have to die, although we could give, if they attack with the pack leader and something else, it probably means we get to eat something. It does deserve the mark, but we can wait. And, yeah, might as well send Skelly. Yeah, kill it now does get us another Skelly. That's a very valid point. And since they didn't give us a freebie here, yeah, we'll do it. It's the second Skelly that has me doing it now, more so than the fear of something like a wild shape. Oppo doing their own version of digging deeper for stuff. We get a Ranger. That's a nice draw. Can still send a Skelly. We can't send two because they have double eats. Well, it cost them a card, but they drew one, right? Yeah, I mean, it was neutral. That's right. But they're digging deeper into their deck is my point. Swing George. Yeah, maybe that's enough. Like, if they double block to take out George, what double blocks do they have? They have, like, Priest and Owlbear, if they want that double block. That seems like a reasonable trade. You like the Cleric? Yeah, Cleric and Owl, right? So, yeah, we can offer that. Right, but we do have, yeah, we can send Hunter too, but Hunter can be eaten up by the Owlbear. If they do that, then George gets through, or George takes more. Interesting. Well, I'm going to send a Skelly then. Yeah, I got to watch out for that too. Playing slow, up a game, but don't want to lose on time. Oh, that's brutal. It's just brutal.
How many licks does it take?
Almost as brutal as drawing land here. Hello. That changes things. We got 6-10. We got 3 activations on this right now. No treasure for the Death Touch. So, 5 toughness is highest. If they block Unicorn, we have to do the double. But these attack nicely. Could send George. Could send Ranger. Ranger just is going to trade with something minor, though. Could send Null Hunter. I like Null Hunter. Gets a counter, and then it's a single pump trade for the uni. They could go Unicorn on 2/2, double Owlbear block to make things a little awkward, but we still have a lot to do from that point. And I'm just gonna crank it up. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because effectively we have 3 unblockable if everything attacks. Yeah, so now they're seeing it the other way here. They've got to turn the jets on us. We can go Ranger and 2/2 on Uni. And we could go these have trample. Uni could just be chumped. Yeah, I'm deciding because this does take us out of the width. I mean, if we get wide enough, the Paladin just does such great work. Yeah, that does give trample. Let's see, can we survive? If this is 9 trample, we're taking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we survive the if this is bulls, whatever. I'll do this. Ooh, 3 blockers. 4 attackers. We get through for 10 guaranteed. Yeah, but they block the other 3, and then this is getting through for... we can do this 3 times. So, where's this at? We can get a 1/1. So let's kill something that can be killed. We can kill Druid. Well, on their turn, yeah. Yeah, let's do that. I'm just trying to figure out if we need to get through for attacks here on some level. And probably just sending a Skelly to... We need to threaten some damage here of some kind. Force a block. I think we can afford to do that. If we can't, we're pretty dead. I'm gonna send it because if this is wrong, and it might be, like, we're just screwed if this is wrong. Yeah, that's true. They block with a druid. Ah, well. Yeah, I just pumped 2 for no reason. Instinct, gang. It's instinct. You play the game for 20 billion years and you see reasons like I gotta kill that. Yeah, we look pretty dead. I should save time. I don't think my inefficiencies mattered there. Free lessons. Yeah, we got owlbeared in the sense that we have 0. It's my timer. My timer. Yeah, we could bring it in a little tighter. Go bring the Manticore Feign Death play. There's certainly a lot of stuff bouncing into each other. Kind of means dropping a George though. Kind of feels like a matchup where if we're counting on Georges, we're not really doing it anyway. I mean, we got to have something. Ranger unnecessary. It makes 2 creatures, gets us wide. I think it is just worth it as a value creature. I almost want to cut the Ogre before cutting the Ranger. But Ogre does a decent job on some of those on a 1 life link, 1 life counter Unicorn. So these have Unicorn potential. And like the gas did good work. Having trouble with that. Huh. 24 seconds. It's got to be one of these creatures, I think. Yeah, you all say Ghoul is meh, but again, it's got 2 power on turn 2. I don't want to keep cutting away at these. Like, we could do this if you really don't like the Ghouls, but I just feel like... Well, I'm going to do a 41 card special. That's my answer. This is for Jay Schneider. Running out of time. Well, if Oppo does nothing before untapping, that's good for us. We'll see, though. Really want something to do on 4. Hey, that qualifies. I'm just going to do it. I don't actually like our spot here. We need to draw well from here, I think. That's pretty good as far as that goes. Ranger it up for now, though.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take?
I mean, that could be it. I just don't like the owlbear is just so hard for us. But I'm gonna send in. I think I'm gonna send in the Ranger, knowing that we have Feign, and then I play Paladin to still have blocks if they don't block here. I'm going to send Ranger now because of the Feign Death that I want to see if they do. But now we have Paladin to threaten. Yeah, they can send this in, but we get to trade a Wolf for a pack leader. That's fine. Actually, I could block Ghast, make the same trade, and get treasure out of it. Maybe they're holding back 1 toughness, though? That, like... but I will do this. Do we want to feign the Ghast? Rather feign the Ranger, of course. Five, 3. Okay. Oh, trample, sure. Ooh. I was gonna try and get him, but I think we actually just drop and go here. And am I supposed to go Tomb? I'm gonna go, yeah. I'm gonna still scry. Oops, I didn't mean to pay with treasure. That just is me playing quickly. Ugh, cross fingers. We so don't necessarily have it here. They need, if they come up with 2 blockers, well, no, this is pretty good. They kind of need to kill the pally, right? Like, that's okay.
Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take?
Still not enough. They need 4 blockers, right? And we have it. How is 3 enough? All right. I didn't make it easy, but we did get there. Please send my regards to Oppo. Good games, good games. Yeah, that was not an easy win. Usually you get a softer start in best of 3, but that was more like a 2-0 bracket battle. Very nice deck, Oppo. Nice. No 2 yet, but other than that, looks very good. Basically, a ghoul off the top would make this perfect. I think Surion was talking about Oppo's, not ours. Ooh, saw the black creature, thought it might be the ghoul I called for, but nope. Hadouken! Oh, Hex Blade. Silly 2-drops that show up on 3. Why do they do that? Did they not hear me? Fangblade to get the venturing going, or Merchant to get treasure for Hexblade, etc. Interesting. I think I'm gonna go Fangblade for venturing. Oppo maybe stuck on colors here, kept a risky one. I know how that goes. Like, we're probably in a spot where if Harry here had found their second land color, like they have some awesome curve out, but they took the gamble and it's not paying off so far. Yeah, we'll keep another of those. We kind of need land though, huh? I guess we don't need another one of those. Never mind. We need land. I was just excited because, like, you draw cards off them, right? When you can create treasure. But now we will create treasure. Sellsword's first play isn't great. We can make it into a 2-1, but that still trades with the Fangblade. I'm going to go with just send the Fangblade here, see if they want to trade for it. Right on. Accepted. I'm going to go Hexblade off treasure, try to draw land. Why is that fine? Because we want to sack it? I don't know. Yeah, I suppose if we're really planning on sacking it. Yeah, with drop. Okay, that's fair. Fair enough. It's still kind of a 2-for-1 I don't want to do, though. I know gas turns into treasure, so it's not nothing, but I'm especially with a merchant, I'd rather just draw a card off it. Yeah, let's gassed and passed, and I need to play faster in these spots where there's pretty clean, easy thing to do and then get the clock off me. Now I kind of like attack, sack gas for treasure. And if I have to, I can ghoul off of the well, I guess off the treasure we get from the ghast. So I'm going to do this. Good, we got the land, which is what I really wanted. Another ghoul. Oppo just stuck. Sorry, Oppo. We'll see what you're actually doing in the second game. I'm gonna go with another ghoul. I don't like the priest here. It's not any more powerful than the ghoul, and if we're gonna get value out of the priest, we can do it next turn, and if this happens, they don't know we have a priest. Yeah, I'm surprised we want the priest there. I don't know what that really gets us. I'm optimal sometimes. Boy, we strive to find optimal together, but in Magic, it can be a difficult thing to find. All we know is that they're red. We saw nothing else. Contextual clues. Jaded Sellsword is suggestive of red-black in that it leverages treasure. And with that, I just don't know what to bring in here. I mean, we like, even if we know that it is treasure, like that's where Feigned Death gets a little better because we know they have a lot of removal. Feigned Death, if we see the Dragon's Fire, we expect red-black, could be correct, but I am going to hold off until we know more and just send it back here. I think it's both because it's a powerful archetype and we are in the 1-0 bracket, and because of the sellsword, I expect red-black, but it could be something else. Well, we got the Ghast. We're on the draw. Hexblade on any land. Merchant, just, you know, I think we could actually make a case for keeping this. It's got its risk, of course, but we have 2 draws for any land to Hexblade. It's really narrow. I'm going to mulligan this, but it's awfully close. Keep this, of course, and send Georgie back for now. Yeah, it's risky either way. I mean, mulligan just hurts your win percentage a lot, but this is a tight 6. Couple of drops. Well, I'm not going to send in the ghoul, right? I could, we got a couple of drops. I'm just going to play the Circle of the Moon Druid, though, and see if they attack. Was red-black, of course, by the way. But Circle straight up eats the Crawler, so I want to see if they can do anything about this. Good. The attacks have stopped. We can start the drops. Do we need to drop a Crawler, though? I guess I'm actually just going to Blade for no value for right now. Ouch. Pretty easy choice. Well, let's drop the Vet. It's scarier than the Crawler. Not much, but at this point, I don't know what we're expecting to get in terms of card quality off of this removal, and I really want the Scry. Priest. Yeah, that's going to be a keep. It's not super powerful yet. We do have a Ghoul to get it triggering if we want. But better than nothing. Yeah, better than air. It's action. We're keeping it. Well, Zorn would have been a solid drop target too. Yeah, it makes Ghoul bigger, and the threat of the Hexblade actually makes it a 5/4 threat, and a 5/4. I guess they could double block Spawn, and it's still a 1/1. We would get another Skelly out of it. So there's that. It's kind of a 1/1, but we get it's a 2/1 because it enables the skeleton thing. Yeah, I was gonna hide land till after if we do that, but I don't even know if I'm gonna do that, honestly. If I send the Circle, they just block with a 2/1. I just don't know if it's worth a Vampire Spawn off the board to lose our Ghoul and just get a replacement skeleton. So I'm gonna say no attacks and pass. Let's see what we draw. Let's try and get some extra help here. Would this qualify as extra help? I think so. Now it doesn't take a 2/1. Now, our worst card trades for anything they've got, so we just send Hexblade alone. This has brought us ahead. We need to press our advantage, though. We're at 10. They could draw out of it at any moment. Now we have a double activation. We could send Hexblade and... if we send the Moon Druid, they're still just blocking with the Crawler. If we send the Ghoul, we are putting ourselves in a spot to have to sack to keep it alive. I mean, if we send the Ghoul, then what? They block the Crawler, and then what's our good play? I mean, we could sack the Hexblade at that point, I suppose. Yeah, actually, we can send both. We can send both because if they do a block we don't like on the Ghoul, we get to just sack the Hexblade to it anyway, and that's good because we make it a Skelly. I think we can send both. What's the block on the Ghoul we don't like? With double activation of Paladin available. I don't think there is an activation we care about that much. I'm going to do it. Yeah, this is fine. Might even make treasure. Ah, Grim Wanderer was part of their plan. Yeah, treasure is a thing we can make. We'll see if we want to. It does cost us life to do so, so we got to decide if a life is worth treasure. The Paladin Pump is insane. I didn't give it enough credit when I first saw this card. I passed this card, I think pack one, pick one, early on in the format in an offline draft where I just didn't sink in with me, and really it's that being able to target elsewhere with a +2 that's really puts it over the top. Yeah, I kind of read it as itself, and it was understanding the target creature that helped me understand what was up with that. And now Ghast could kill the Crawl. Like, Ghast is a powerful play here. If we play it, we don't threaten double activation, but Ghast, sack, and single activation should all be enough to cause lots of... I wanted it middle to, in case we needed to not lose the Ghoul. I could have done the math true, but I decided to just play it safe that way. We're going to send this and this again. And if they... Well, actually, they just have single blocks on Ghoul now that are not great for us. Well, I guess we can sack one thing and win combat there. No, it's still good for us. I'm still going to do it. We only get one activation here, but the ability to throw -1/-1 around is excellent as well. And but we don't even have to. We can go, like, watch this. This is why I wanted to do it pre-combat. Black Dragon. Yikes. Bye, Priest. But we keep our Pally, which might be enough. Might as well sack it. We have time to decide if we're doing that. That's just an end of turn thing. So now treasure. What does it get us? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't do much, but it does give us a death touch opportunity. So yeah, I'll do it. Georgie, Sight for Sore Eyes. Don't have Skelly tricks now, but we do have Ghoul. Sack Skellies, make a 4-3. 4-3 trades with everything they've got. 4-2 trades with everything they've got. They're at 20, so that's a bit rough. I like sending in these two, see if we can clear the board a bit, and then drop Georgie. I'm kind of even willing to offer the Moon Druid now, although it's probably still a bad trade, so we'll leave that back. Ghoul, though. Georgie's going to help a little bit, but yeah, we got a lot of damage to get in for sure. Just going to do a sack trade here, because we're going to get Georgie going, and it's Georgie or bust. We can also find removal. We have a couple of draws to be able to kill the dragon. Dragon, is that enough of a reason to bring in anti-flying tech? Maybe not. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is not 9, so it's not a double activation. I think, though, time to give up the Moon Druid, or maybe, let's see. Yeah, I gotta give up the Moon Druid now. You kind of do it this way. If we swing all, 4, we don't survive the crackback if they just take it all, so we can't really do that. We gotta leave a Skelly back for chumpage. And Pally just gets double block. Swing all is lethal. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15, 16, 17. What? No. That's not enough. Damn, they're at 20. Yeah, close. So we could send the Paladin knowing that if they do the double block, it really does clear the board. Because we can... Yeah, I think we have to send this as well and leave a Skelly back to chump. Let's tempt them with the Paladin because 2 for 1 clear board Paladin is reasonable. No. No treasure this time. Oh, Oppo showing action. There's a pause here with only 1 card in hand. So really hoping this was just some random sandbagged land, but it actually seems like it might be a relevant card for them, which could be tough for us, but it is what it is. I'm going to play out the swamp with a Paladin active. I just don't want to lose out on that. So that's what they were up to there. Kind of messes us. Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah, whatever. Is it? I don't think we bring in Flyer Hate for a single black dragon, even though it kind of got us there. And we do have a ranger. We could bring in a our own dragon so that at least it's it trades with the dragon, but can attack on its own. No, it's if they don't have their dragon, it's a threat, and if they do have their dragon, it trades. That's worth it. Yeah, maybe we do want the Georges. I just worry about the heavy 6s. And there's so much dying. The Zombie Ogre would have been good in like every game we've played so far. And 7, 6, 3, 5. In terms of clogging up the ground, they both have the big butt. I could cut something neither, you know, put the George back in and cut something else in the middle. I'm going to leave the Feign Manticore out, although the removal is the... I only saw the one removal too. I don't know. I don't know what to cut for that combo. You know I love me a Feign Death, but I don't know what to cut for the combo if we like those Shambling Gas, which I really do against red-black. So far they've been removal light, but we don't know what the context of their deck is. Maybe they have 7 pieces of removal and are screaming about how where the heck is their removal, right? One of the drops I could get behind. And then we can keep our big end. I'll do that. Drop a single venture to be able to keep in a multi-adventure. Nice. Keep that. Wouldn't mind trading off the gas for something so that we can either draw a card off the Hexblade or get to the Gorger a turn early. But without it, I am just going to drop Hexblade here for curve purposes. No value. Deliver us something to do on turn 3, please, deck. Maybe I need to be more specific, because technically we played a land on turn 3. Action for turn 4, deck. Please. Boo earns. I could send the gas, but they just take it, so. Stay back. Maybe they kill the blade and attack, and I chump so that we get Gorger next turn. Oh yeah, the magic gods are just offering a bunch of monkey paws for sure. Nice. I will take the chump and the treasure. This gives us George into George, even if we do something like draw another land. Cardboard is intentionally not even hooked up, but oh, Untapped GG might not be open because I had a restart. Let me make sure Untapped GG is fired up. Usually chat's all over me when there's not an overlay. There's some removal. So hopefully their overlay's working now. Let me know if it's not. I'll try and mess with it. But yeah, it looks like it's working. Yeah, sorry, I just missed it. Well, we can at least draw, and they're not attacking us.
Oh, here comes the flood.
Yeah, thinning. About deck thinning. Typically, we think of deck thinning as ancillary bonus thinning. Not thinning by card drawing. We do have block and sack. And probably have to take it. I mean, I don't know what the plan is here if we don't. Maybe they want it dead so that they can bring it back and kill the Gorger with it. Yeah, could be a great feign death play. But we still get we get rid of one of their cards and we get a card of our own. Maybe we understand what they're up to and I'm going to take one turn to try and find a non-George to block with. Yeah, they do have sack outlets to conduct that play even without our block, but I would rather make them do it, if that's what's up. That was just more good stuff from Oppo. It's going to be tough to win this one.
We will say goodbye to flesh and blood.
Yeah. I tried to keep my cool today, but this is not proving to be a winnable game. All we got is the obvious blocks. Can't even draw a card off that because we do need to trade it for the Wanderer here. I'm green with envy at Oppo's better deck. Boo.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Yeah, we have a 1-drop even. Can't keep it, though. This we will keep and hope we match up well. It's going to be great. Hexblade into double removal if the removal lines up. Cleric class can get out of hand on that 5th chapter, getting back something awesome and gaining a ton of life. Nice land. Nothing to drop. That sucks. I really feel like, especially against something potentially powerful like a cleric class, I want to be doing stuff every turn. But at least we're not doing stuff on 3 because they didn't do stuff on 2. Come on, 2 toughness. Target. Wowie. All right, then. What a weird game so far. No worries, gang. I've just done absolutely nothing on my 3rd and 4th turns. I think this will be fine. Funny. All right, well, we're going to go Ranger here instead of dropping a 3 toughness creature. Owl bear. I'm just plagued by owl bears.
Mr. Owl.
All right, it's Find the Path. That is so much worse than owlbear. Spoils, you say? Mana left open and they did not act. Oh, these are, it's 4 to activate. Okay, so nothing was telegraphed there. I was thinking of the rare one, the Anthem that is 3. So, yeah, drop and go makes sense here. I don't like using spoils, but it's time to start attacking. And we're going to go down the middle, scry up some action, or a land for the George. Actually, we're at a spot where we want it all, so maybe it's not the best scry time. I kind of want to bottom that even. But it guarantees the George. I just have a hard time keeping land when on a scry when I have 5. But it does ensure George or 2 spells, so I'll keep it. But I hate keeping land on a scry when I'm at 5. Yeah, I also don't like making treasure. I'd rather make the goblin. So that was possible too, for sure. But also that means we're not Georging next turn. We're dropping next turn. I'm hoping that I just want the ability to drop George next turn. Drop to drop. You don't see that much. Kind of rough to have that mode actually do a full card's worth of work, but fortunately a 1/3 in itself is not quite a full card, so could have been worse. But the cleric has some does some stuff, you know, in a deck like this, of course. What just happened? Oppo, what did you do that? What was that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's just lethal. We could even gotten more by getting treasure. I think it actually tries, like, that one. I think I've made the mistake Oppo does. When I don't know if you've experienced this card before, but when you activate it, it does not suggest tapping out. It suggests, like, 1 short. So, you know, if you tap out, your big creature ends up tapped, right? So you got to make sure your X is properly numbered. But I recall the system helping me and me ignoring that help. That's what I remember about that. Peggy flies. I think we can bring in a at least 1 plummet here to start and see how that goes. Maybe for a drop. And I think I like that over just bringing in a dragon. I'd rather have the big boys. Yeah, it is manual. Like, that's what I say. I don't remember the interaction, Pablo, but I do remember feeling like I remember the system tried to help me and I ignored it. I feel like it did, but maybe I'm just misremembering that. Life gain deck could get out of hand. We want to get it dead before it's gaining a million. Right. Looks good. Did they just put us on the play? That doesn't feel right, Pins, but maybe your removal suite is so crazy that this is correct. Unlikely, though. I feel like that was probably a mistake from Oppo, putting us on the play. Fangblade on 3 gives us kill anything on 4. That's part 1. Make the mistake. Learn from it. Requires some other steps that are often overlooked. Hey, a Twitch sub. I mean, a YouTube sub. Hi, YouTube friend. Come join us. We're live. Was wondering if we had to kill the innkeeper, but we're gonna actually take out the moon dancer. Oh, I did, yes. I forget that I have it sometimes, though. Oh, wait. Maybe I didn't. I guess I gotta find it still. Sorry. Or maybe I put it somewhere else. Yeah, I'll just have to try and remember that. I remember that I got it and didn't use it. Right. It didn't make it in somehow. I gotta look for it. Sorry, Oppo, not trying to waste your time or anybody else's. Here we go. But, you know, I'm talking memes here. The Wayland. Good scry. We really didn't need to draw land there. Probably still will with how things are going on that front today, but maybe we'll get some action instead. How about that Ranger for 5? Yeah, it's true. We could connect with the Blade, get a Treasure, and George. We'll consider that if open to us. And looks like they are making it open to us. So I'm in for that. Let's George it up. I'm ramping. Double life off the innkeeper. Which is to say 2 instead of 1, not that this doubles life gain. Half-elf monk is going to do some work for them eventually, but we get to swing away here. Null Hunter picks up a counter and can't even be doubled. Not that they would want to, but I guess they get a bounce block with the monk, but we get a counter. And no reason to -4 anything. We're just gonna drain, get them a little closer to dead. Add to the board and hope it's so overwhelming they can't deal. Ah, they just had enough, you say? All right, we don't have to quit Magic. Picked up our second win, more importantly. Well, maybe not having to quit Magic is the most important, but we did get some gems back. Hooray. Lizard wonders if I'm drafting again. Not right now, but I did sign up for the Invitational this week. So I'm going to bail now because I'm going to be back on in 4.5 hours, okay? Open these. Very cool. All right. Took a loss and I didn't lose my head about it. Won a couple times, got 1,000 gems back for the trouble. And had some interesting games, some fun lines, fun blowouts, puzzling situations, powerful rares. It was a full day of Magic in just a couple of hours. Thanks a lot for hanging out, YouTube friends. Look for a Sweatsuit Invitational video coming up, because that's what's next for me. Going to do that in 4.5 hours here live. And then we're going to also have... my friend and team captain for the charity I'm doing on tomorrow. Haven't even figured out exactly what I'm going to do yet. I think I'm going to challenge Nate Heiss, game designer and participant in this awesome Mox Boarding House Card Kingdom charity event that we're doing for supporting young women empowered. And we're going to have Nate on tomorrow to kick off the show and figure out what to do there. It's not going to be a normal gauntlet day. Probably do something with Nate. And then going to do some fundraising tomorrow. I think I'm going to set up some channel points where the channel point cost is almost nothing. But you got to make a donation to the charity to actually get it to do. And then we'll do things like you can play against me or draft against me, that kind of thing. So... that's the plan, and we even have a raid captain, so Garbage Andy is your destination now. Thanks, YouTube friends. Thanks, live friends. I'll just say goodbye to you all at once today here, and see some of you, I hope, in a handful of hours.